the whole thing was rigged, the whole deal was rigged. Even the companies are rigged. Either there's going to be something or the other you have to worry about in a deal. If your friend is helping you sell a car, he's probably earning a commission on that. Audi, they have the worst market right now. The biggest giveaway for a car is the service history. He booked the car, took it to the service station, and the service station gave him a green light to buy the car. Later, when he got the car inspected from his own mechanic, car turned out to be a total loss. We were marketing for 55 lakh rupees. I sold the car for 50 lakh rupees. Beamers, like, they're a no-brainer if you want to drive them and enjoy them. But dealers, they are so shitty. Every Mercedes after 2020 that has come to me for sale, I've seen an engine light on that car. I don't know why.
Today is a very exciting day. We have Achint here, who I will introduce in a quick minute on who he is. But let's take a step back. When I posted my first car video, there was a lot of comments about how all of you wanted to hear from the insider, hear from somebody who's in the car industry about what does it take to run a second-hand car dealership, and Achint here does exactly that. He has a great story here called You Drive Me Crazy. I met Achint because I had come here as a prospective customer, and we had almost closed a deal on a car, but certain things didn't work out, so we didn't finally go ahead with it. But in the process, I really enjoyed talking to Achint. And so I thought, let me bring him on the channel, share he knows a lot, by the way, about the car industry, and I'm super excited to have him here. I'll shut up, I'll let Achint introduce himself, and then we'll jump into some of the questions that you all have had over the past few videos with the comments, and hopefully Achint will answer those. Achint, over to you. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi guys, I'm Achint and I run the place called You Drive Me Crazy. As you can see that we have two beauties standing over here as well from our store. One of them,
Which one is this?
This is the Lamborghini Urus and this is the Audi RS5. This is for sale, this is not for sale.
Okay.
No, that's a personal car. But
What car do you drive personally? Given you have so many choices, I'm sure you have your personal favorite. Which one do you drive?
There's one rule that Hardeep and me have anchored in our particular life, that we don't drive the cars which are for sale. So out of those 55 cars, me, Hardeep and our family, we don't drive any cars out of them.
Okay.
We have a personal fleet of cars for ourselves and we love driving them. We always drive those cars. So I'll just name out what I car drive and then I'll tell you what all cars that we have.
Yeah.
So I personally drive a M340i. Prior to this, I had an Audi TT, and prior to that, I had a BMW 328i. So I've always been a very passionate a driving machine only. About the cars that have been in the family, which are like shared by everyone, it's this RS5 that you're seeing over here. It's a 4.2 liter V8. Then we also have a BMW M2.
4.2 liter V8.
Yeah.
So let's just kick it up for a second. How many bhp is that?
This is somewhere around 450. This is the stage 1 remapped car. Yeah.
Just sounds like faithful, but yeah, please get.
So there's a BMW M2 also.
So Achint, when did you start You Drive Me Crazy? How old is this store?
So You Drive Me Crazy in particular is a new name for our brand. We were known as Top Cars. Then my brother Hardeep, he was the one who specially founded this particular brand in 2015 again.
Okay.
So he entered the car line only because it was purely out of passion. We had two cars at that time. I was still in school at that time. I'm a pretty young guy, I just don't look like that. So I was still in school at that time. I was, I think, 16 back in the. I was not 16. I was 15 only in 2015. So he started it, and I was again fascinated by what he was doing. So while doing my schooling, I was always helping him around, seeing what was happening. But he was the major brain behind the whole operations that we are doing at You Drive Me Crazy.
So he started this in 2015.
Yeah.
Like he almost brought it to life again.
Yes, he did. He did. So he did it back in 2015. Then
With two cars.
with two cars.
What were those two cars?
Those two cars was an Audi A6 and a Jaguar XF.
And so, just taking a step back, outside I only see cars above a certain price range. So I'm assuming that's a conscious call that you're only selling cars above a certain price range. What is that price range?
So usually the price range, there's not always a cap for that, but we prefer selling cars above 30 lakhs. But we do have cars around 15-20 lakhs also, like 1 or 2 units of them, because they are very clean. So there's an Octavia outside, there's a Superb outside. All of those cars, they're over here at You Drive Me Crazy because we found them so clean that we had to buy them.
Got it.
That's how clean they were. And so again, getting back to the point about how we started. So 2015, he started with two cars. Then 2018, the scale like poured up a little bit. So we at that time we had 3-4 cars, but this was again a side business only. Since 2018 till 2020, we were without any name. We did not name the business. We were just doing it from a house. We were doing it from DNF Phase 2 in Gurgaon. We had a house and we had a plot which was vacant over there. It was like somewhere around 500 square yard. We parked somewhere around 8 to 9 cars in 2019 and 2020, and we were working from there without any particular business name. Then in 2020 mid, when COVID hit and we were shut because of COVID, we were not selling cars. At that time, Hardeep actually brainstormed the idea of a proper dealership by the name of You Drive Me Crazy, and I was obviously accompanying him for that same particular
great
name. It's a great particular name, but it's like built from the scratch. Everything that you are seeing, everything done over here, it's built from the scratch.
So you've been in the, like, this is your first business that you've been in, and that's your background.
So if you talk about my background, he and me, we were running the whole thing personally. We used to clean each and every car personally. Before a client was coming over, I was the one who was cleaning the car. He was the one who was helping me. And just after the client was about to be coming over here, we would go and take a shower and just come and meet him once again. So that is how it was. So whatever cars that we had, they were always going through word of mouth and our referrals, whatever clients were bought before. They liked the cars and the enthusiasm that we had and the services we were providing. And so they pushed us to scale a little bit more. So in 2021 and 2022, it was going very great for You Drive Me Crazy. From our house only, we had 11, 12 cars maximum, that too. 8, 9 cars on average, 10, 11 cars on maximum. So it went pretty crazy for us. And so we came up with the name again, You Drive Me Crazy. And it went on and on and on.
In fact, just adding to that, right, and I'll show you some pictures of the store as well. This store has a vibe. You enter the store and it's like there are leather couches, there is amazing music playing, there is like there's aroma also, and then obviously the cars just add to it all, right? Cars are just beautiful. So I see your point on how you've painstakingly taken the effort to make the store an experience for somebody who's coming in. They just really are taken aback by like, wow, what is this place? So well done to you and your brother for doing that.
So I just call him brother but he's not my brother, he's my chachu.
Oh.
So there's an age gap of 10 years between me and him.
How many cars do you currently have in the store?
We currently have 55 cars, including the cars inside the store. We approximately have cars around 25 inside and around 30 cars standing outside. There's a huge open space area that we have on the left of You Drive Me Crazy.
Yeah.
So we almost have 55 cars at a particular time on average, and they keep on going and coming. We have like every second month we have a completely different stock with us.
Yeah, in fact, even when I came almost a month ago, from then to now, I see a lot of new cars.
Only like 4 or 5 cars are similar to the ones the last month.
They're all new now.
Yeah.
So let's jump into the business side of things, right? How do you have 55 cars? How do you source these cars? Where do you pick them up from? Do you have a network of people? So one would, like, let's hear it from you. How do you source these cars?
So You Drive Me Crazy is managed by 2 people single-handedly. It's Hardeep and me.
Okay.
So his nickname is Noble. People in the industry know him by Noble, and people in the industry know me by Nice. Whereas my real name is Achint, but
Noble and Nice, huh?
Noble and Nice. We are known as Noble and Nice in the industry.
Nice.
So Noble does procurement and Nice does sales and operations.
Okay.
So for Noble to procure a car, there is there's like 100 points of actions that goes into one purchasing of car. We are offered almost 1,000 cars a month, and we pick somewhere around 6-7 cars out of those. Only 6-7 cars out of 1,000 cars, because our purchasing standards are really high.
So how are you offered?
So right now procurement is very easy for us because Instagram is a huge channel. People look at our cars and they offer their cars to us on Instagram only. Then people walk into us straight away and show their cars to us, and that's like the most easiest way people sell their cars to us. Then the third way is that people offer us cars. There are so many mediators, so many people who are working in a commission-based perspective, so that they offer us cars and we buy them very easily outright. But when we are buying a car, there is so many things that go into action that we at least take 3 to 4 days to purchase a full particular vehicle. We don't.
Absolutely, you have to go through your checklist.
Unlike other dealerships, they only take 30 minutes to buy a car. We take 3 days to buy a car because one, when a car is offered, we check the service history first. Then second, we do a personal verification of the car. So Hardeep flies down all over the country personally to check a car, no matter how far it is. Then once he checks the car, if he sees that if there's let's say there has been any repaint or any accidental history, we'll go to the exact extent why did that happen. And if there was something which we did not like, or there was something that we think would not be better for us to buy, we will leave the car. Even if we have spent 50,000 rupees on going there and taking the car out, we'll leave the car. But the quality is supposed to be really high. We won't buy a car which has had an insurance claim of above 2-3 lakh rupees. We won't buy a car which has been repainted other than the company. So let's say some friend of mine owns a car and he says that I've repainted this car from any XYZ place and please buy this car from me. we'll check. We'll see why that car has been repainted. And if it doesn't matter standards, we won't buy it. No matter how good the patients are.
Got it.
So
You briefly mentioned about how you have a network of also people who come send their cars to you with a commission.
Yeah.
What is that commission basis typically like?
About our industry is always commission based. Each and everything that we are doing is commission based. Each and every dealer who is coming to us, they are taking any commissions. Each and every, for example, it's a very easy example. I'm just giving you an overview about it. If your friend is helping you sell a car, if your friend is helping you sell a car, he is probably earning a commission on that. He's probably earning a commission on that from the dealer. That is the original.
What is that ballpark commission like for somebody who's selling a car to you? How much do you pay?
So let's say that guy is helping us buy that car. For example, that car is valued at 30 lakh rupees. We pay him 30,000 rupees. It's basically 1% on whatever the car is valued upon. It also depends on how much value we are buying the car on. Our margin is not that high. Our margin is very stagnant and very low because we don't want to earn a lot of money, a lot of chunk out of each and every car. We are more of a quality-based dealership rather than just selling and giving each and every customer whatever they are.
Let's jump into what are the so now you have 55 cars. How do you think of, are there any preferred brands that you purchase, and similarly other brands that you don't purchase because either they are hard to sell or like your preference? How do you think about that, or brands are our preference? If you find a clean car, no matter what brand is it, you'll buy it. How do you think about that?
So our industry, it is very fluctuating. Sometimes a particular car is selling a lot, sometimes that particular car is selling very less.
Okay.
So our purchasing is always upon the market, how the market is going on. For example, let's take this Urus for example. So Lamborghini Urus was in a very high demand up till 2023 mid.
Okay.
Right after that, the demand just went right down, just down the tank. So we did not buy any other cars. We did not buy a Lamborghini Urus after that particular time because we know that these cars, they take a lot of time. And that ticket size for us, if we hold that car for 3-4 months, is like not good business for us. So that's why I wouldn't buy the car which is not selling a lot. So if you're talking about the normal cars in our day-to-day range, Audis, they have the worst market right now. Audis, they're not selling a lot because they're introducing a lot of discounts and people are not liking them anymore in the industry. But Audis, they're making very good car. I'll point it out.
So cars are good, but
Cars
the
are good.
market sentiment is not good, and therefore they're not selling.
Right
Therefore
now-
you're not buying.
Yeah.
You don't prefer buying.
Right now, Mercedes and BMW, they are at the top of the game.
Yeah.
Mercedes is the highest selling car. No matter what product I buy for a Mercedes, be it a E-Class, be it a GLA, they will sell. They will sell no matter what. Mercedes is that high of a brand right now. It's just the brand value. I personally don't like the brand. I don't like Mercedes. I am just selling it for the sake of selling it because people are buying those cars right now.
I'm a
personally-
businessman. You don't care about.
I do care that. That's why I don't buy some of their cars. I don't buy a diesel Mercedes. I don't like them. The 2-liter Mercedes, it's a very shitty car. It's underpowered. The materials Mercedes
This
are,
is the E220D.
I would say the E220, the materials inside the car, the leather is not leather. It's a leatherette. And
that price point. Also.
yeah, they're charging you so much, and the car is again shitty. The features, the engine, it's not reliable anymore. The engine light comes on every second or third month of you buying a brand new car.
Oh wow.
Every Mercedes after 2020 that has come to me for sale, I've seen an engine light on that car. I don't know why, but they take care of that under warranty only. Mercedes does the job for you under warranty, but still, why is there an engine light coming in on the car right after you bought it like 2-3 months back? So the quality of cars, they have gone really down for that particular brand. BMWs, they are doing amazing. Beamers, they are killing it with the game. Beamers and Audis,
The new 5 Series launched today. I don't know if you.
it launched day before yesterday.
I was seeing it on Instagram
Yeah.
today.
But that is an amazing gun.
Yeah.
But again, that's underpowered. The power is really going down in these cars.
This is the same as the previous generation.
It's underpowered now because they were supposedly taking out the 540i. They were
They
taking
haven't
out.
got that in
They are not. They haven't got that in India. But if they bring out the 540i, it'll kill the sales of each and every Sedan you can imagine. It's a
I
lot.
personally, sorry, just digressing a little bit. I personally don't like how the new 5 Series looks.
It's
I
a
thought the
little bit-
outgoing model was just class, and it exudes like elegance. The new one is very flashy, very flamboyant. I don't know if an electric first kind of a mindset that they moved to, and that's why it's looking that way.
Beamers, they are very, very strong about their design. So like 3 years back, they launched the BMW M4.
Yeah.
So when they launched the M4, there was that new kidney grill, the huge one.
Yeah.
People really hated that when when it was launched. Now people are loving it. People are actually loving that particular design because it has grown up to them. Same goes for the 5 Series. Even I am still a little bit, not sure about the design because it's very futuristic and it's very electric, but it will grow onto you. When you see it on the road, you will like it a lot. it will look very nice.
So you basically, let's summarize that, right? You have no preferred brands. I think you are driven by what the market is.
I'm driven by the cleanliness of a car. If a car is very well maintained, if the car is very well kept, there is no, let's say, strings attached to that particular deal, I'll buy that, but it needs to be in the best particular condition.
Got it.
Yes.
So let's actually talk about that then. How do you assess the condition of a car? What do you have a checklist? Do you have some like service centers where you take them? How do you go about?
So we have almost 100-point checklist that Hardeep ticks while buying a car.
Okay.
So he has a scanner with him. He has a paint detecting machine. Then obviously he has his eyes, which is the most important thing in procurement. When he's procuring a car, he's always looking at how the body line is. He's always looking at the interior. If there are scratches on the steering wheel, we'll understand why there were scratches, what way the car was used, and how the car was serviced. The biggest giveaway for a car is the service history. In You Drive Me Crazy, out of the 55 cars, there is not even a single car which is not maintained at the company. We don't buy cars which are outside maintained. So that is why we
So you have contacts in the service centers?
We have contacts with each and every brand about how these brands are maintained and about how this car was serviced at a particular time. So we check those cars, we thoroughly get them verified, then only we purchase them. So our checklist is a very huge thing. So whenever we sell our car, we give the buyer a letterhead from our dealership that the car is non-accidental. If there is a repaint, we are telling you what has been repainted. We'll show you pictures also why that car was repainted. And third, that the meter hasn't been tampered. We give you these 3 things in written, so that once you have bought this car, you are fully satisfied that these 3 things I don't have to worry about.
Got it.
So that's how clear we are with our purchasing.
Have you encountered any shitty cars that you purchased along the way? If you can talk about.
There have been many cars. So you take this RS5 for an example. There was another RS5 that we bought, and the gearbox turned out to be shitty in that. So after that, we made a note in ourselves that we won't buy cars which are outside maintained. So there have been shitty cars. Like there have been, let's say we have bought and sold more than 300 cars. We have had 5 or 6 cars which were really shitty.
RS5 gearbox was shitty.
Yeah.
What did you do with it? How did you get it? Like, tell us what you.
So the gearbox, it came out very shitty. So RS5, there's a particular gearbox with Audi that is very shitty. Back in 2008, they had that gearbox. Till 2014, they had that gearbox in most of the V8 cars. Even the R8, even the RS7, even the RS5, they shared that gearbox. So we knew that the gearbox was very unreliable. And anyways, we still bought the car. We thought that this car is very less driven and it won't turn out to be shitty. But the second we bought the car, 3rd or 4th day, the gearbox, it melted down. And the guy we bought the car from, he actually conned us. And he portrayed the car being fully perfect, but obviously it was a learning curve for us. So we obviously gave him the car back. That's how good hold we have with our sellers, that we give them the car back if the car is shitty. We don't keep them with us.
Nice. So that's all on the procurement side. Thank you so much for sharing that in great depth. Let's move on to the selling side. How do you sell your cars? What are the different channels that you have to sell the cars? And how do you find customers?
Often. So basically, we have the store. People coming to us and buy cars, but obviously to bring people to the store, we go through a lot of different channels. The main one of them being Instagram right now, because you know how social media is these days, people are liking them a lot. Second is referrals. So a lot of our customers, they are bringing referrals to us, and word of mouth, that is the only way we are thriving. The people who have already bought cars through us, they are sending their friends, their families, and they're coming to us and buying whatever car that fits into their requirement, and they're buying that. And then there's CarTrade, OLX, websites like Motorsite, and 2-3 other websites where people promote our cars. Like Wasim Khan is a very good blogger these days who's promoting our cars. He's specifically coming to us himself because he knows that the quality of cars that we have, his clientele is going to like it. So people are also coming to us because they know that we have the best quality. So it's basically referral and Instagram based clientele that we have, and obviously walk-ins. People see our store from the outside.
Yeah, it's a great location. Yeah. I don't know if you guys ever cross the highway. You will see the NH8 highway. It's right on the Rajokri roundabout. It's a great location, like bang on the road.
The location was just by a fluke. So this location that we are on, there was nothing over here. There was only a concrete small building of whatever you're seeing right now.
Yeah.
This was the only building that was built. The whole place that we have built is from the scratch. We designed the whole place. We made the whole place what it is because we needed people to know that cars in India and used car dealers can be as good as the dealers in Europe. In Europe, because European used car dealership market is really amazing. It's amazing. It's bigger than the new car market in Europe. So that's why we are trying to compete with Europe market, not with the Indian market. We are just keeping them everywhere away.
Nice. So your buyers are coming from referrals, word of mouth, vloggers,
Instagram, car trade, OLX.
car trade, OLX. So you must have a fleet of people who are managing these channels, because, or are you doing it all along? Because if OLX पे inquiry आई है, Instagram पे 15,000 PPP आते होंगे, I was doing. How do you manage all that? How so it have?
Other dealerships who have cars around 30 to 40 cars, they have approximately 10 to 15 people to manage this particular thing. I'm doing it alone. We are talking to each and every customer on our Instagram personally. I reply everyone personally because I need that. I won't trust my salesman. I won't trust anyone I've hired to do that in the way I am doing it, because the quality is only controlled by a person who have built it from the scratch. So that is why each and every channel is routed through me only.
Very, very inspiring. You have your ear to the ground always, that hey, this is the customer, this is what they want, and that's why you are very close to me.
There are some times when the customer is giving a bad feedback. Let's say the car when he took the delivery, the car was not fueled at all. So every mistake that we have had in You Drive Me Crazy, we have learned from that. So that's the reason whenever you buy a car from us, we'll always get fuel in the car. That is one mistake. So इसलिए ऐसी बहुत छोटी-छोटी गलतियाँ होती हैं जो होती रहती हैं यार. We are humans. We keep on making mistakes, and we keep on learning from them. So इसलिए छोटी-मोटी चीजें होती रहती हैं, and we keep on learning from them, and we make them perfect.
So let's now switch gears and move to how do you think about closing the deal? सब हो गया है, गाड़ी आपको मिल गया है, आप गाड़ी पसंद आया है. What are the different steps along the way? So there's one financing, for example. So let's talk about financing. Do you also provide financing?
So at You Drive Me Crazy, when you come to us and you purchase a car, you get the same experience as a brand new car. Okay. You get an in-house finance team with us, you get an in-house insurance team with us, you get an in-house servicing helping, which you will get after you have bought the car. Let's say you bought a Audi. Your Audi requires servicing 6 months after you have purchased it. You will receive a call from our team. They will get your car picked, they will get it serviced at Audi. They will give you huge discounts on the service, and then they'll give it back to you. So we are always hands-on with our customers. Whenever you have bought a car, you'll get after-sales services no matter what, whatever car that you have bought. So since the time you have stepped into the showroom, since the time you are going out of the showroom, it will always be tracked, and it will always be up to the customer how and what kind of an experience we want. So it is always very much customized. If a customer comes to us and he says that he wants his car to be blacked out, we get it done for him. If he says, I want this particular car to be wrapped, I want this particular car to be peelable painted, I want this particular car to be serviced once again from the company, I want these tires to be changed, I want this car to be modified, I want an exhaust in this car, I want this car to be tuned. So we help them in each and everything because we are always hands-on with that.
So that's how that helps you close the deal.
Yes.
So you're basically covering all their needs. From PPF to service to whatever else.
And obviously we get them guarantees about the product that they're buying from us.
When you're closing a deal, what's the typical room for negotiation? So talk about two things here. One, and I know I've been in the second-hand market for a while. I've seen like really obnoxious rates from dealers, and then you undercut them massively, and then they'll entertain that deal. So tell me about the industry. How much is the room for negotiation in industry? Then talk about your business. How much is the room for negotiation here?
So our industry, I'll tell you how the mindset of a buyer is. Whenever they walk into the showroom, they have a mindset that they are going to negotiate. No matter how good your pricing is, no matter how spot on your pricing is, they will always negotiate. I have seen so many pages, I have seen so many dealerships facing backlash from the people on the social media saying that this price is really high, we are selling cars on a very higher price. I have seen so many bad comments about cars being priced high. They're only pricing it high because people are buying them on a higher price, and they are negotiating a lot. Let's say you go to a XYZ dealership and the car is priced at 55 lakh rupees. It is by the Indian mentality, everyone thinks that they will buy the car at 50 lakh rupees. That is what people think. They will come to your showroom and they will say, "आप तो मुझे 50 लाख में दे दोगे गाड़ी, क्या फर्क पड़ता है आपको?" And they don't know the heart and the energy we spend on buying that particular car and spending money on it and then bringing it up to you and then selling it. People don't understand that, and they just give you backlashes that these cars are getting expensive, you're selling them on expensive price. Cars have gotten expensive, bro. They are expensive now. Yeah. A Porsche Boxster was for 99 lakh rupees back in 2019. That same car, that same model is for 1 crore 80 lakh rupees right now. So prices have gone up. That is why we have to sell them on an expensive price. You as a seller, you will buy a Superb. You bought it for, let's say, 35 lakh rupees back in 2020. That same Superb was for 42 lakh rupees just like a few months back before it was discontinued. You will obviously want a higher price for your car because the car's prices have gone high. So you are selling it on a higher price. We have to buy it on a higher price, and obviously we have to sell it on a higher price. So that is how the market is. That is how we put the pricing on. Coming up to the dealerships other than us, there's BBT, which doesn't negotiate at all. They have a fixed price policy, which I love. I personally have implemented that policy at You Drive Me Crazy. We are a fixed price dealership now. We don't negotiate for our cars. So let's say you're coming and buying a C-Class from us. That C-Class would be priced at 35 lakh rupees. That same C-Class at some other dealership would be priced at 38 lakh rupees. So that 3 lakh rupees negotiation margin we have already cut. So that's why we are a fixed price shop now. But people in the industry, they are negotiating on a very high term. They are always negotiating.
तो कितना 10% 5-10% negotiation
5-10% रहता ही रहता है.
outside.
And कभी-कभी जो गाड़ियाँ लोगों के पास अटकी होती हैं, they give them without even thinking twice. Let's say I have done it. I have sold a car which we were marketing for 55 lakh rupees. I sold that car for 50 lakh rupees only because that car had a very bad market at that time. So we had to negotiate on that. But now we are not negotiating. We are a fixed price shop, and the quality and the quality and the quantity of cars that we have, no one can beat us.
So I think the takeaway here is that depends on the dealership.
Yeah.
That if the dealership is worth their salt, then you won't need to negotiate over.
Exactly.
If the dealership is a little dodgy, and that you get a sense after you talk to the promoters, you will.
There is only a small circle of people you can trust in the market. There is only limited people in the market who you can trust blindly, and you can buy a car from them. So the viewers are watching this particular podcast. If you ever buy a car from any particular place, always get it verified from the company. They will charge you 15,000 rupees or 12,000 rupees for a checkup, but always get it verified. Sometimes even the companies are rigged.
Oh.
Sometimes even the companies are rigged. The service advisors, they take money. So
don't take it. So what's the hack there? Don't take it. Close the service center, take it somewhere.
Yes, I have seen this. There was a customer who came to me.
All parts and parcels of being at a car dealership, guys. Enjoy it.
Yeah, are they able to hear it? Anyways, I had a customer come to the showroom. He told me about his experience. It's a very huge brand he was buying a car from. He is very old, established in Delhi NCR. He's a very old brand. So what experience he had was that he booked the car, he took it to the service station, and the service station gave him a green light to buy the car. Later, when he got the car inspected from his own mechanic, the car turned out to be a total loss. The whole thing was rigged. The whole deal was rigged.
Wow.
The buyer, he was actually.
Delhi?
This was Delhi, and this is happening very frequently. There are many people in the market who are doing this. They are selling cars. They are selling total loss cars without even thinking
So
twice.
total loss cars क्या होती है? मतलब they've been completely like it's an accident car or a
Yeah.
flat car, and that they
And the owner sold the car without taking any insurance claim, without getting the company letting them know about them, the car being accidental. There's like so many things that go into this particular area, and there's like you can't trust anyone in the industry. You can't trust anyone. You can only trust your own instincts in this particular industry. But obviously मैं ये नहीं बोलूँगा कि हम अपने डीलरशिप के बारे में तारीफ करेंगे, and ना ही मैं करना चाहूँगा. But we are not trying to do that. We are trying to change that perspective about it. Even you tell me your father, if you would have told him you were buying a used car back in like when you were younger,
even now,
what would he say?
even now
What
he's
would he
against
say?
it. They don't. That generation doesn't get the concept of buying used car.
Our fathers, they're always against it because they know that the dealers, they are so freaking shitty. They're always doing something or the other. Either the paperwork is going to be bad, either the car is going to be bad, either there is going to be something or the other you have to worry about in a deal. I've always seen that. I've always seen customers coming to me and always worried about everything or the other. So we are trying to cut that thing. We are trying to cut that totally. No matter how much money we are making. If I'm getting to make, let's say, a very huge amount on a car, and if the car is accidental and I have to lie about that particular thing, we won't do that. That is the only thing that we have. No matter how much money we are going to lose, no matter how much money we are going to make, never lie about it.
Got it. I think that's bringing us to the end of the conversation. Thank you so much. Just before we let you go, any insider tips that you have for a potential car buyer? If you are in the market for a car, for a used car, you being in the industry, what are some of the tips that you'd like to give them that they should keep in mind? Checklist of sorts, anything that you would tell your family that you're buying a second-hand car, ये सब याद रखना before you close the deal.
सस्ती गाड़ी कभी नहीं लेनी चाहिए.
सस्ती है तो कुछ उसमें पक्का कहीं ना कहीं something is off.
आप इंस्टाग्राम नहीं खोलते हो ना, उस पर आपको पूरा नीचे तक दिखता है कि ये लो डील 3 लाख में ये ले लो, 8 लाख में ये ले लो, 20 लाख रुपए की एलसी. और कोई बंदे तो अपना कोई भी गाड़ी उठा के कितनी की भी बेच देते हैं. एंड दे मेक इट अ वेरी ईजी डील फॉर द कस्टमर्स बिकॉज दे थिंक कि ये सस्ती चीज़ जो है ना बहुत अच्छे से लोग लेके जाएंगे एंड बहुत आसानी से बिक जाएगी. दैट इज़ नॉट द केस. इफ़ यू आर अ पोटेंशियल बायर, always look at the thing that has been priced high because that is the best quality of thing that you're going to buy. अगर आप सस्ती चीज़ लेते हो, आपने जैसे ही वो सस्ती चीज़ ली, आपने वो सस्ती चीज़ लेने की एकदम बाद अगर आपके ऊपर उस चीज़ को खर्चा आ गया, लेट्स से अगर आपने वो गाड़ी 5 लाख सस्ती ली है किसी और डीलरशिप से, लेट्स से वी आर सेलिंग अ कार फॉर 40 लाख रुपीज़ एंड यू गॉट दैट सेम कार फॉर लेट्स से 35 लाख रुपीज़ एंड वो गाड़ी ज़्यादा चली हुई है, देयर वाज सम रीपेंट इन दैट कार एंड यू बॉट इट, वो सस्ती मिल रही है. जैसे ही वो आपने ली, आपको लेने के बाद पता लगा कि उस गाड़ी में तो क्या क्या निकला है, क्या एक्सपेंसेस निकला है,
5 लाख भी निकला गया और सरदर्दी
सब कुछ चला गया. एंड यू बॉट अ बैड कार, यू आर नॉट गेटिंग आफ्टर द सर्विसेज, दैट डीलर इज नॉट पिकिंग अप योर कॉल, ही इज नॉट रिस्पॉन्डिंग टू यू. देयर इज सो मेनी थिंग्स दैट यू नीड टू कंसिडर व्हाइल बाइंग अ कार. इसलिए whenever you buy a car in the used car market, always buy it through a very trusted channel. Always have some reference or always know what you're doing, or you can come to you to immigration.
Of course.
Yes.
So that's one. सस्ती गाड़ी मत लो. Look for trusted sources, trusted references.
जितना आप पैसा बचाओगे उस गाड़ी के अंदर, उतने पैसे आप गवा दोगे उसको बाद में ठीक करने के लिए.
Any other things that you come to mind? Other certain brands, for example, that you say
always
work better in the second-hand market.
Audis, they're amazing.
For second-hand.
Audis, you can actually buy and enjoy the car because it's a mixture of both BMW and Mercedes. Audis, they make the best car in my opinion, but obviously they don't get the market anymore. But they are actually an amazing car. Then Mercedes, they are doing very good with their flagship models, but not with their starting models. The quality of their interior, they have gone bad, but they look very nice. Our Indian market goes by the way of how they look. So don't just see how the car looks, just see how it works. Beamers, they're making amazing cars, they drive amazing. You should definitely buy a Beamer out of the, Beamers, they're a no-brainer if you want to drive them and enjoy them.
But Beamers, would you recommend buying new or buying slightly used?
It's up to you how much money you want to spend. So if you buy a 80,
but depreciate enough होती है from a new to a used.
If you buy a 80 lakh rupees 5 series right now, आपको अभी के अभी वही सेम गाड़ी 60 लाख रुपीस की मिल जाएगी यूज्ड कार के अंदर.
अच्छा, सिर्फ almost सिर्फ 5 series मिल रही है.
हाँ, if you go and buy a brand new 5 series right now for 80 lakh rupees, अब वैसे आने बंद हो गई है. I'm talking about few months पुरानी
बात. आपकी R6 GT खड़ी है. For reference, let's talk about that. वो कितने की है?
That's for 50 to 50. That's for 50 to 50.
और नई 6 GT 90 की है.
हाँ, नई 6 GT 90 की आती है. We are selling it for 50 to 50. The car is 3 years old. It is 2021. It is driven 50,000 kilometers and it's under a service package. So अगर आप हर एक चीज़ को accord में लोगे, you're almost saving 40 lakh rupees for a 3-year-old car. And you're getting almost a brand new car. Obviously, the quality is very high.
Okay, so you're saying कि brands don't differ. मतलब second hand में सब brands depreciate कर रहे हैं.
बिल्कुल करेंगे, but सबसे कम Mercedes करेगा.
सबसे कम.
And सबसे ज़्यादा अभी फिलहाल Audi करेगा. फिर Lexus is a very stagnant brand. It's basically a Toyota on steroids. It's nothing else. And उसके अलावा.
What about Range Rovers? Because I see a lot of those parked out.
So the dealerships in India for Land Rover, Range Rover and Jaguar, they are providing the worst experience for the customers in after sales. So that's why each and every high profile customer has had a bad experience with Land Rover, Jaguar in India. So that's why they resell them straight away.
And lesser driven would be how much? What kilometers beyond a certain kilometer आपको लगता है अभी पहुँच चल?
यार I think
50,000 60,000
I think 80,000 कैप है.
80,000 के ऊपर
80,000 के ऊपर लोगे तो आपको इशू आने ही आना है. No matter how good the car is, we are also selling cars which have been driven above 80,000 kilometers. But हम उन गाड़ियों को इसलिए बेच रहे हैं because that car was so well maintained that we had to buy it. वो 80,000 किलोमीटर भी ओनर ने ऐसे चलाए थे कि समझ लो उसका खुद का बेबी है. When we buy a car ना, हमको पता होता है कि उस बंदे ने वो गाड़ी कैसे चलाई है. बंदे अब्यूज़ करने को 20,000 किलोमीटर को अब्यूज़ कर देंगे. You can see a 20,000 किलोमीटर कार abused into a such to an extent that you won't even buy it. So it's always up to the car, not the kilometers. It's always how the previous owner has maintained it. So that is how it is.
That was really, really helpful. I learned a lot. That brings us to the end of the video, Achint. Thank you so much for doing this for us. Folks, if you like that, please give it a like, give it a comment, subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop those here. I'll request Achint to respond to those.
You can also message us on Instagram.
Go check them out on Instagram. It's a great channel. It's called You Driving Crazy. Link in the description. If you're around here, you should just come visit the store, by the way. Like I said, it's a vibe in itself. So yeah, thank you so much, Achint, for having me over on this sunny, hot Sunday. Sorry?
Yeah, having good conversation over here about cars. That's most important.
Yes, I had a great time, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did.
We did.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.